Welcome to the Europe Challenge webinar. I'm your host, Lwando Xaso, and I'm happy, so happy that you are all here. For those who don't know, the Europe Challenge began in 2020. It was started by the European Cultural Foundation, and it initiated a program that brings together diverse libraries and communities working towards making better neighborhoods, not just for Europe, but ultimately the entire world. Since then, we've had 200 participating libraries. They've completed 96 projects and 24 countries have been represented. This year, our year-long curriculum culminated in Amsterdam in September for our summit. And we gathered under the theme of If Librarians Ran Europe. That is the theme for the Europe Challenge. And you're about to hear presentations that really answer this provocation in the most stunning way. The purpose of this webinar series is to take what we've done in this beautiful program called the Europe Challenge, which is both online and in person, and to share it with you, our broader community, the wider sector, so that you can hear from our participants what they've learned along the way, you know, the key insights and best practice in realizing the projects. I'm going to pause there. I've done quite a lot of talking. I want to give you a glimpse. This is for the benefit of those who didn't attend last week. We're going to show the video again. I don't get tired of seeing it, seeing the beautiful faces of the participants and their work and our time together. It brings on a lot of nostalgia. So if our tech team can cue up the video, that would be great.
I used to think of democracy very much the same way I think of having clean water. It's just there.
The governments, they know the power of people gathering, and libraries are that place. People gather, people have access to information. It's dangerous to them.
There's 65,000 public libraries in Europe with millions of people who go there all the time. And I'm thinking, this is huge.
I love being around librarians and libraries. It's like a warm hug, you know. Everyone really cares.
If librarians ran Europe. You know what comes to mind when I think of that theme? A different kind of power that the world so desperately needs right now. An open-mindedness, open-heartedness, a co-creative power.
I think democracy is threatened in a number of ways, also in Europe. And I see libraries as an obvious starting point to strengthen them and investing in them and funding them and sharing experiences as we do here to counter those threats.
There's a key role for libraries to play in digital and social infrastructure. So post-COVID, having those safe spaces for people to come and just exist.
We don't believe that one solution fits all. We believe that every library has to discuss with the local community and come up with an activity that it works for them.
Communities have resisted existential threats in the past and in the present and haven't given up and have actually created so much change, then so can we.
There's so much resources in your community. We have a space, we have curious people, and we are able to bring people together.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the partners to the Europe Challenge. The European Cultural Foundation doesn't do this alone. We have partners such as the Arts Council England, the Scottish Library and Information Council, Fondazione Curriculo in Italy, and Postcode Lottery in Germany. Thank you all for your overall support. Now it's time to get going. We're going to start in Dublin. If our Dublin participants can queue up their presentations and get ready to start. Robin, where are you?
Good morning from Dublin, everybody.
Hello, we're supposed to clap. This is meant to be fun. It's December. It's meant to be easy going. Yeah, nice. Love the emojis in the chat box.
Thank
Please,
you
Robin,
very
kick us
much,
off.
Lwando. Thank you. So, my name is Robin Stewart Fáilte, no Céad Míle Fáilte, that is welcome, or 100,000 welcomes in the Irish language. So, I am the Junior Certificate Schools Programme Librarian at Marino College in Dublin.
And I'm Sarah Connor, teacher and a member of the Marino Residents Association, so the community representative on the project.
So our Europe Challenge project brought together the library in our small, plurilingual, non-denominational and disadvantaged City of Dublin Education Training Board school with the wider community to celebrate the history and diversity of our area and to foster a sense of welcome of Fáilte.
So Marino is a vibrant and a rapidly evolving multicultural region. We get students from the north east inner city families who've lived in the area for generations, and they attend our school. And we now have about 70% of Marino's population coming from migrant or refugee backgrounds. And they come from countries including Somalia, Syria, and the Ukraine. And this is really reflective of the huge societal change our area has undergone in recent years.
So our school library is a sanctuary for every one of our students who show up to learn together in our landmark listed building on Dublin's famous thoroughfare Marino Mart. Marino was built 100 years ago as social housing, a garden city of palaces for the people built by the impoverished new state. Currently in Marino, our Irish students are one of the minority populations. So we're working to strengthen intercultural awareness and ensure that everybody feels safe, included and welcome. This is especially important due to rising anti-immigration sentiment and narratives that have emerged in the northeast inner city in recent years, which unfortunately turned violent about this time last year in a riot. So our Europe Challenge aimed to tackle this issue head on through fun, celebratory events and activities to try and break down ideas of us and them and try and develop a new sense of we.
And just as it happened, the Residents Association was planning a series of celebratory events for its centenary of the building of Marino. So we decided that we would collaborate on a community arts and culture festival and a parade that explored the last 100 years and investigated what would happen over the next 100 years. So looking to the future. To do that, we organised lots of workshops for our students and members of the local community to take part in, and we hosted these in our library here in the school and also in Carlton Hall, the Residents Association Community Centre in our area. And this culminated with a cultural festival and parade at the end of May and included things like dance, poetry, music and prop making.
We reached out to many other schools in the area, and students from Marino College's Art Club, which is held every Wednesday after school in the library, ran workshops with younger children in primary schools, making costumes that these children wore in our parade, which were themed around landmark events from our local history.
So before Marino was developed, the area was a farmland. So 1924, which kick-started the centenary year, was remembered with a huge spinning wheel and kids dressed as little lambs. And then in 1951, a local eccentric lion tamer had one of his lions escape. So we made a huge lion prop being chased by locals and kids dressed as lambs, or dressed as lion tamers. In 1954 then was the year of a great flood in Marino when the local river, the Talca, burst its banks. And there's some credible pictures of the community coming together to rescue local people and animals. It was very common back then for livestock to be kept in people's gardens. So we had a giant pig being rescued in a curragh, which is a traditional Irish small boat, and kids dressed as little piglets. It was so lovely to bring everybody together, children from diverse backgrounds, to learn about the history of our area and to provide a leadership role for our students here in Marino College to develop these props. In all, over 700 students, our young people, children and local residents were involved in the parade, and we had a cultural festival and barbecue back in our library afterwards.
So we had a huge amount of community engagement and outreach with lots of organisations in our locality here. So as well as the JCSP Library and Marino Residents Association, we linked in with local cultural institutions, festivals, lots of schools, broadcasters, charity organisations. We had a bus route diverted for our parade. We had the local police close the road for us. So it was a wonderful opportunity for our community to come together and celebrate a new identity of belonging and inclusivity in our area. Some of the workshops that we held included a pottery class for our students, their parents, and some refugees and asylum seekers who are living locally. So we created vessels that we used to share food together. We had instruments lent from the library. We had dancing classes. We had traditional crafts. We planted trees. We had great fun in bringing our community together. We held an art camp for teenagers in the summertime, which was very well attended. We developed, I don't know if you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, Marino, a giant-sized board game celebrating all aspects of our area. And you can see on our last slide here who it was who benefited from our Europe Challenge project. Very diverse group of people who now have fostered a new sense of identity and belonging in our community. And I would encourage you all, it was a lot of hard work, but it was a lot of fun. If we can do it, you can do it. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you so much from our team in Marino. Next up, we are going to Ukraine. Where's Katerina, our team in Ukraine? Let's go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. We are happy today with my colleague Vera Karpinska present our Europe Challenge. So our Europe Challenge is digital skills for people with vision disabilities. And after the Russian full-scale invasion has started, the number of people with disabilities in our community has increased. Our library, our branch library Sensateca, focuses on people with vision disabilities activities. That's why we have some experience in this field. And we take it and started offering digital skills for people with vision disabilities. And right now we have results. More than 90 people with visual impairment successfully complete the course. And of course, we continue our courses. It was very successful and very useful. There are how use screen reader courses, how navigate in the city course, how use apps to watch film or theater plays and others. And what we have right now, what we achieved, we provided essential skills for people who need it and change proficiency in using gadgets. And we leveled up skills for people with vision disabilities in using gadget. And we expanded access to entertainment, fostered the engagement of people with vision disabilities in our community, involved more and more people, and explored inclusive and urban accessibilities together with people with vision disabilities and make our city more comfortable and better for everyone. And right now I want to give a floor for my colleague Vera Karpinska to explain more about our activities in our Sensateca.
Hello,
Vera?
everyone. My name is Vera, and I am glad to be here. We always say that advocacy is about change, and so with our project, we would like to make change in our communities and society. I would like to tell you about another project. It's advocacy project called Information Accessibility for People with Visual Disabilities, and it was the first step in the project that Katerina was talking about. As part of it, we created the guide, you can see it, News Accessible to Everyone, in which we collect information for journalists, for media maker, how to correctly and accessibly publish information to people with visual disabilities. We have presented this guide, and after presentation, we submitted an official apply to the City Council of Lviv and Kyiv to adopt this recommendation. Next slide, please, Katya. Thank you. An important part of our project are the event we organize, film screening with audio description and eyes closes have become important event through which we talk to community about the problems of people with visual disabilities. We invited people experience this and become more involved in accessibility issue. And we don't stop here. We hope to extend our project project cooperate with more organization and continue advocating for system changes. And I hope together we can build a society where inclusivity is not just an inspiration, but a reality. Next slide, please. And thank you very much. And it's our contact. You can write us. And thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Katerina and Vera. Thank you so much to our team in Ukraine. We're going to do a few more presentations, and then we're going to take a break for a Q&A or for any comments that you would like to share with our presenters. Next up, we're going to Spain with Francisco.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
Thanks for selecting Bibliokepos to be here with you. My name is Francisco Pazos. I'm from Nomad Garden, one of the curators, members of the curators teams of the project Bibliokepos that was developed in the city of Seville in southern Spain, with a network of municipal libraries of the City Council of Seville. The starting point of this project was several events during the summers related with the heat waves, and also with problems in the electrical grid of some of the neighborhoods of the city. And because of this, some of the libraries were activated as climatic shelters for the local communities, for the local neighborhoods. One of the demands, or one of the objectives, was to adapt or to become host places for this kind of communities in the places, and to adapt some spaces of the libraries as climatic shelters, as places to be, not only to read or to exchange books, but also to have dialogues, to work together, or to simply to stay. This was done with the University of Seville, with the students of architecture, and each of these 4 libraries that were adapted for being climatic shelters were developed different kind of furniture, different kind of dispositives to host the people during this kind of episodes, but also to be integrated into the normal program of the 4 libraries. So that's why each of one is different, and each one was giving answers to different demands of the librarians and the communities. This also was the place to develop several activities with workshops and to how to face the climate change, how to adapt to the climate change and the energy transition in these kind of places, not only depending on the technology, but also to understand what's happening and to make reflections, or to make awareness of the situation, and also to generate small, or to provoke small changes in our daily routines, with small activities and workshops. We developed several dialogues and with experts, with methodologists, with artists, with several people that works with this kind of challenges. We gave place to everyone to be here and to understand and to interact with these situations. And also we work with the book fund of the libraries. The idea was to collect recommendations from associations, experts, and people from the local communities and surroundings to understand and to add to the fund, to the book fund, titles or works that need to be there to understand and to provoke this kind of the changes in our routines. At the same time, these dispositives, these rooms, these spaces were also thought to be an indoor garden, and it was related also with the non-dependent technology adaptation of this kind of spaces, and to count on the properties and the capacities of the plants to adapt our environment and to improve our atmosphere. We play with a collection, with a palette of plants that were also capable to remove some pollutants from the indoor atmospheres to improve the qualities of the indoor air, and at the same time how to integrate us not only in the libraries but also in our homes, in our workplaces, in our offices, and how to take care of these other beings with the plants and to live with them in our indoor spaces. This was done with a series of workshops with the local communities, with the communities of the libraries, and also small changes or adaptations in our daily routines that can be in the good for the society. For example, to make small hackings on the toilets of the houses or libraries, to collect the water from the toilets, the waters to be reused, for example, for the water in the plants, how to change also the use of chemicals, for example, in the soap for the hands, to use non-pollutant products in this kind of waters to be then reused, and also to understand how these small changes can provoke big changes in our landscape. And that's it. That's our project Bibliokepos. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you need more information, you can go to our website or to write to us through our email. And thanks to the European
Francisco,
Challenge for everything.
See the hearts. Can you see the hearts and the clapping and the celebration? Thank you so much. Patricia in Poland, you're up next.
Welcome, everyone. As it was already said, welcome from Poland. I'm Patricia. I'm project coordinator at Municipal Public Library of Opole, and with Asia, community representative, our volunteer and psychology student, we are going to present our project. You won't learn it at school. The challenge that we faced, addressed, is about deficient mental health and sexual education issues in the Polish education system for teens in secondary school. And how did we approach it? Our solution that we created, we managed to make a safe space for teenagers in our library, and we conducted workshops led by mental health specialists. We focused on participants' needs, relations, self-confidence, emergency response in an accessible form, like Instagram posts, shorts, and helpful booklets. And what is the achievement of our project? We, first of all, received positive feedback from teenagers, their parents, and school representatives. We created social network of cooperators for the future projects. Participants admitted that their awareness was raised after workshops, and they felt more confident with themselves and each other in class groups. By the end of this year, the publication or our conclusions about working with teens on these topics will be released in Polish and English, and it will be accessible for everyone. And now, Asia, to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to say something about problems we face, and we face the problem of engaging teens to common weekends for classes. We try to encourage them through student councils and teen municipal council, but unfortunately it didn't work, and we had a lot of ideas and disposition, but no participants. And how we resolved it? We resolved the problem by redefining our idea of you won't learn it at school into you won't learn it without your school support. We asked school psychologists to collaborate and let their students come to our library while school classes hours. And it was such a great change. And what are our future plans for our project? We'd like to focus on collaborations we established. More doesn't mean better. We're planning to ask students what are their ideas for workshops and prepare regular mental health days in our library. How the Europe Challenge and exchange with European colleges benefited us. So we've made an expiring partnership with Jane Woodstock from Liverpool, and we're thinking about some collaboration, maybe on an online event. And each project we got to know was interesting and mind-opening for us. It was such a great opportunity to realize how different European countries work with their communities. And what showed us our power the most was an enthusiastic support while Market Square on Amsterdam Summit from project colleagues, and it was a real fire.
Yes, we felt amazed with the organization of the Europe Challenge. All of the workshops helped us a lot and gave us helpful tools to develop our project and personal skills. It brought us more confidence, especially in public speaking and promoting the project. Marketplace was amazing opportunity to meet not only fellow Europe Challenge participants, but other interested parties. This gave us an opportunity to engage in interesting conversations, exchanging ideas, experiences, and forging new partnerships, in an example with Public Libraries 2030. So, thank you for your attention. We'd like to invite you to our library website. You can send email to the library or follow us on social media. And as I said, by the end of this year, the publication will be released. So it will be definitely on our social media. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for such a beautiful presentation and your beautiful work. Next up, we're going to Frankfurt, Germany.
Yes, thank you, Lwanda. Hello, everyone. I'm Christine from Frankfurt. I'm working for Zentralbibliothek, Frankfurt Central Public Library. And I want to share with you some insights on our project Autumn Songs. So I hope you all can see my presentation. We had a project organized here in Frankfurt with the title Autumn Songs, Bird Life in Urban and Literary Environments. And we focused on local bird life. So our project faced the challenge that bird life nowadays is endangered by the decline of insect population, by the loss of habitats, and by intensified agriculture. And we wanted to help out of this situation by organizing an event series on the local bird life. And we had a great community partner who unfortunately couldn't join today, but who was really brilliant in this event series. Our community partner is Umweltlernen, and this institution is engaging for ecological education and sustainability already for, I think, about 25 or 30 years now. And yes, to start with the facts, we had a series of 8 events. We tried to organize most of them interactive, and the events all took place in September. We started at the beginning of September and had about 3 weeks where the events took place, and it was all co-organized by Umweltlernen and Zentralbibliothek. And here you can see a photo of a walk in the cemetery of Frankfurt, but you will hear more about it later on. So we had 3 focuses when we started to think about the project. We joined really late on the EU challenge in springtime only, so we had a last-minute project, and 3 things were important for us when we decided to focus on local bird life. We wanted to have an interdisciplinary perspective on bird life. So we decided to combine also scientific, biological, ecological perspective, but also an artistic view. We wanted to integrate literature and arts also in the thinking of urban bird life. So here you can see the sound artist Nina Quaisner, with whom we had a walk through the botanical garden, and she was really lovely. She helped us, the whole audience, to learn more about bird songs, about the sound of birds, and to get more sensible to the environment, or the sounds of the environment in natural environment in the city of Frankfurt, so to say. So the second focusing point for us to make the events most interactive as possible. So we always invited participants to take an active role. We had talks and literary readings at Zentralbibliothek, but we also went on ornithological and bioacoustic walks. As I said before, we had an ornithological walk on the main cemetery where we went on a Sunday morning. We had this bioacoustic walk with the sound artist Nina Quaisner, but we also organized a creative writing workshop at a school library where about 20 young students had a workshop with a poet, and they learned to write about about birds. So that was really something that very lovely and touching, that out of this event series, 20 poems were created, what was really touching for me. We also planned and organized a land art workshop with an artist in a park here, which was not, it couldn't take place as planned because of really shitty weather. It was like raining a whole Sunday afternoon. But still people came together and thought of creating artworks out of natural materials. And the photo that you can see here, we had a workshop in the city center of Frankfurt where we all built nesting aids together. So to have something also, to invite families of birds to take home in different nesting aids. And the third most important aspect for us was to go outside the library. So to combine these talks and readings at the public library and at the school library with walks out through the city. We went to a botanical garden. We went to the city center. We had a walk on a Sunday morning at the cemetery of Frankfurt. And we had this workshop in a park. So we really tried to go out, reach out for new audiences, and also come up at different places and situations not connected to the traditional image of a library. What I want to share with you as a bird knowledge to go is buy organic food, watch your cat and dog, plant insect friendly, turn off the lights and learn more about bird life. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please get in touch.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Let's just go to Alba in Romania.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Alba. I'm from the Romnja Feminist Library. It's an initiative that I co-created together with my colleague Aldesa Georgiana Linkant. We launched it a year ago. The Romnja Feminist Library is a Roma, women and queer-led organization dedicated to promote the knowledge produced by Romani women across Europe. Our focus is on influencing policymaking and academia by bringing the perspective and experience of Romani women to the forefront. At the same time, we are using an intersectional approach that addresses the unique challenge that they face and the intersection of gender, ethnicity, and class. Our mission beyond serving as a repository of information, we seek to reinforce and reshape the narratives, increase the visibility and advocate for a systemic change by integrating Romani women's voice into policy debate and academic discourses. We aim to challenge the structures that perpetuate their marginalization and ensure their contributions are recognized and valued. Our organization is registered, as Lwando said, in Romania, but we work as a transnational initiative in developing new ways to support Roma and Sinti women's rights by focusing on creating and sharing new knowledge. Our work aims to change, as I was saying, these narratives that are already imposed on Romani women. And through the library, we have, so the library is an initiative that have been created after so many discussions with different Romani women across Europe. And we have the privilege of having more than 40 Romani women collaborators who were giving us their materials. And through the library, we have collected and classified them accordingly to the topic that they were writing about. One of the main section of the library, let's say that is the publishing branch of the library, is the Romnja magazine, in which we are creating new knowledge and materials written by Romani women and girls. And here it comes the Euro Challenge. We did a project in which we publish a new issue, the first issue of the magazine, which is Decolonizing Gaje Narratives. For those who don't know, Gaje means non-Roma. And the methodology that we have used, we did an open call for publications, and we implemented the peer-to-peer review, in which we connected one Roma woman who has experience of producing and publishing materials with another one that doesn't have such experience. So they were working together to create a new article. So at the end, we have created 10 new materials. We have worked with 20 Romani women between authors and editors. We have 5 countries, and also we collaborated with 5 illustrators. If I might talk a little bit about the articles that we have co-created. So we were giving the authors and the editors the space to select the topics that they want to write about. At the same time, also we gave them the opportunity to write in their own language, because one of the main okay, the time is going. So we wanted to provide them also their own spaces to write in their own language, in order to decolonize also the knowledge production that is very English colonized language. So we have, for instance, just very briefly, Anna from Serbia, who wrote about her experience as a trans Roma woman. We have Imola, who wrote about the health and forced sterilization of Roma women in Hungary. We have Carmen, who wrote about her experience of being Roma lesbian. Anna wrote it about the process of healing. We have then more experienced authors. We have Carmen Gheorghe, who is a professor at the University of Bucharest and is the director of Romnja organization, who wrote about Roma feminism. And our future plans go to present the magazine in Romania, Germany, Spain, and Belgium. We have already arranged those countries to present the magazine at the university. We are thinking to print the magazine and showcasing the knowledge produced by Romani women. At the same time, we are looking for grants and opportunity to continue to develop our work. So here I'm leaving our address, the website, at the same time the Instagram account for you to connect and share the knowledge of Romani women. Thank you.
Thank you, Alba. It's amazing how much you can fit into 5 minutes. You've all done such a great job. We are at the halfway mark. We're going to pause here for some questions. There's a question regarding the role of librarians, and any of our presenters, if you feel moved by the question, if you'd like to answer it, please volunteer yourselves. It's a general question of, do you feel that your role as a librarian has changed? If so, in what way?
I could make a start, maybe.
Yes, please, Christine.
I have to say that I just started as a librarian because I only started in January this year to work at Public Central Library in Frankfurt. And I think it's a very diverse kind of exercise we have here. And my job is a lot about organizing events, getting in touch with the city, and to develop all kind of formats to invite people to get in touch with each other, to go and to come here for readings and talks, to go and see an exhibition. So I have the impression that it's a quite diverse field of exercises to work at the library.
Thank you so much, Christine. There's another question regarding, maybe you could start us off again, Christine. What kind of workshops or just professional development courses do you think should be offered more to librarians, considering, how dynamic things are right now?
I think for me, being part of the EU challenge was a lot of help to start with these exercises, to have workshops on conception, how to conceptualize and organize event series, or maybe to get more in touch with your communities at the library. So it's a lot of social work sometimes as well. And I think as the field is so diverse, you need all kind of workshops.
Got you. Is there anybody else?
Just
Please
to
go
add
ahead.
into what Christine said there, I was particularly inspired by one of the presentations in Cambridge from the staff of Doc 1, where they talked about this spiral of participation. So sort of surrendering control as a librarian and opening up more space for discussion and discourse with the library users, and sort of ceding control to them, letting things be more driven and directed by the users. And that's been a real game changer for my practice, to sort of allow more, well, in my case, more student voice and more collaborative direction. And I've been quite inspired by Roger Hart's framework of participation, where we're moving from tokenistic involvement to actual genuine participation. So to try and work in as close partnership with communities and users as possible, to just step outside the comfort zone a little bit and surrender a little bit of control. It's really inspirational what can come as a result.
Perfect. And also stay on, Robin and Sarah, because there's a question for you from Alexandra. It's related to what you just said. She says, tell us more about your cooperation between your library and the local community.
Sure. So we were fortunate that we had the hook of the area being 100 years old. And we were able to seize on that opportunity to link in with Sarah in the local residents association. We hadn't fully understood, or I hadn't fully understood as a librarian, that there were other organizations and groups out there working to the same ends that we were, but kind of siloed, working individually, separately from one another. There were refugee and asylum seeker support groups. There was accommodation nearby for people seeking asylum. And we were all sort of working towards this goal of integration and community building, but in siloed separately from one another. So just by reaching out, a lot of it was through initial word of mouth, just through conversations. We discovered that these other groups were out there, and it was wonderful. We were able to really make us stronger. All of our works have been enhanced by this community building through linking in with other community groups. And that's led to a real change in my professional practice in the library. I feel much more embedded in the community here. And I don't know, Sarah, have you anything to add to that?
Yeah, and I suppose like I'm kind of dual in that I represent the local community, but I also teach in the school that Robin works in. So it's been just wonderful to find a common link with the school and also with the local community. And we were so fortunate that the centenary celebration was coming up as well. So it was a real kind of positive, happy event, and just led the way for us to link many of the groups that Robin just spoke about.
And having now made these connections, we're able to work together to have an even bigger celebration this year, to expand the project further, to take it up to the next level again. So I really would encourage any of you in the audience who haven't engaged in the Europe Challenge, please apply. It has been an absolute game changer. It's been such a wonderful opportunity. We've met people from all across Europe. And you can sometimes find that people who are running projects that might seem unrelated to your own work, there's something there that you can replicate. The sharing of ideas has been phenomenal. It's been a really, really worthwhile, wonderful experience. And thank you all so much. I hope that answers your question. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Robin and Sarah. Alexandra, I hope that was a satisfying answer for you. Our other presenters, before we move on, is there anything you'd like to add? I see someone in the comments saying librarians should be offered more training on AI and cybersecurity. Our participants this year did have an AI workshop. So we're gonna hopefully continue that. We have a comment saying, dear presenters and organizers, thank you very much for interesting presentations. Good luck for you to you all. Anything else from our presenters before we move on?
Lwando, maybe I could jump in for a second about trainings for librarians. Maybe I had a thought that what I observed in my library, and I think sharing experience with some other colleagues here from Europe Challenge as well, I may say so, like this experience with Europe Challenge was amazing because we were able to experiment, to prototype, to create, to change our things during the project, what we are doing. And this is what we lack in resources in my library. It's time to experiment, to try new things. And I believe that maybe you should speak more about it and stress that this is a need to have additional trainings. For example, what Robin said about the DOCA training, it was amazing, but we don't know how to work with community. In many libraries, people don't know how to do this and how give them this space to, let's say, self-organize, to take part in library activities. So we need to be a bit more bold, I dare to say, and allow ourselves space to experiment and do new things.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Patricia. We have Rolf Hughes in the comments saying they'd like to know more and hear or read other suggestions for professional development, lifelong learning for librarians and library users. These could inform future EIT culture and creativity funding calls. If any of our presenters would love to share anything with Rolf, please do. I'm going to introduce our next presentation. We're going to Sweden. Where is our Sweden team? I saw you just now, Paulina.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paulina Stanley, and I work as a democracy ambassador at the library and in Landskrona. Our city is, as you can see, located in the southern of Sweden. And on the bottom right left, you see a picture of our beautiful city library. Today, I'm here with my colleague, Jakob.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Jakob Lindblad, and I'm a librarian here in Landskrona. And today we will tell you about our Europe Challenge project. Participate in your local community.
So, Landskrona is a small city with about 45,000 inhabitants, where around 30 to 40% of the population here has roots from other countries. Two areas, Karlslund and Öster, are socially economically vulnerable, with lower citizen participation rates and significantly lower voting turnout. Young people in Landskrona also participate with a lower turnout in the elections, so we face a challenge in strengthening the local democracy. Our project aimed to promote new encounters across social and mental barriers in Landskrona. The target groups for the initiative was young people and those with Swedish as a second language. We collaborated with Hej Öster, which is a local organization working to strengthen the social sustainability in the eastern area.
Yeah, so our project involved organizing 3 different neighborhood meetings with the purpose to discuss what people want to do in their city and the community, sparking engagement. So we wanted to make the meetings as accessible as possible with low barriers to participation. We also invited the civil society organizations and other municipal staff. So through these meetings, we aim to offer participants 3 things: a network, inspiration, and also tools to realize their ideas. The meetings were held in 3 different locations across our city.
So the first meeting was held in Karlslund, and there we focused on young people. 50 participants attended, and most of them were between the ages of 13 to 22 years old. Together, we talked about their dreams for their neighborhood and also what activities they wanted to do and see in their area. We also invited 2 youth organizations to this meeting to inspire the participants on how to organize activities independently themselves. The second meeting was held in the Öster area. Many families attended, along with representatives from 3 local organizations. The meeting was simultaneously interpreted into English, Swedish, and Arabic. In that way, we could allow the participants to join the discussions in their native language.
Yeah, and our final meeting was held in September at our library. We called it Eat and Talk, focusing on getting to know each other better. Participants brought dishes from their own cultures, and the event had a more of a festive atmosphere. Citizens, civil society representatives, and city representatives all joined this meeting. We also discussed what participants would like to do moving forward. Our meeting attracted more than 50 participants each, which we see as a success. We kept the barriers low by inviting participants personally, sharing information about the meetings in multiple languages, offering simultaneous interpretation at one of our meetings, and providing food to create a relaxed atmosphere.
We also tried to use a flexible structure for the meetings and allowing participants to shape the format and also contribute to the meetings, for example, with inspiration, with planning, and with food. This approach took some time, but it truly led to good results.
So, what now? Our partner organization, Hey Öster, who couldn't be here today, sadly, has continued hosting meetings at our library, which we call Friday afternoon tea. At these gatherings, we offer tea and cookies while continuing the conversations that we started with the neighborhood meetings. We want these meetings to be a welcoming space for the people of Landskrona. They are flexible and driven by the participants' interests. The format for these meetings are experimental, and we are planning to continue them into the spring.
The participation in the Europe Cellar has been very rewarding. A big thank you to the organizers and to the funders for the knowledge, expertise, and support that we have received throughout this journey. If any of you here today would like to collaborate in the future, please don't hesitate to contact us. You see the email address at the bottom right. Thank you so much from Landskrona, Sweden.
Thank you, Paulina and Jacob. To our attendees, I'm loving your comments. We have Alfonso, who's a retired librarian and who's giving help to a group who works to engage communities with libraries. We have Bettina from Belgium, who's organizing Black History Month in Belgium. If you're working on projects, I think it's only fair for our presenters to know more about what you're working on. Please add to the chat. Let us know what you're doing, what you're up to. Next, we are going to Portugal. From Spain to Portugal with Sarah.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm Sara Rocha and I'm from Portugal. I'm the community representative of the project Literacy for Climate Transition in partnership with the Rocha Peixoto Municipal Library from Póvoa. So I would like to give you some highlights on what we have been doing this last 10 months, 12 almost. So the project was a journey to try to find answers to this question. What if fossil fuels ended now, today? What it would be like? So what things we would have to learn to do? What topics from our life as a community would have to be, we would have to rethink, and what can be the role for a library in partnership with the community to be in this transformation process. So the project was very much a connection between community and the library. Until the moment, there was no a space dedicated to climate change issues in Póvoa, and we never worked together, the library and the community group. So it was a fresh start for everybody. And we were very interested to build a place between both, where people can discuss, research, experiment, and also enjoy the what ifs that we have to go through in order to adapt to climate change in our daily lives, whether it's in the way we eat or we dress and move in our daily lives. And how to do this, building a place that is safe, relaxed, inclusive, that fosters, stimulates our imagination, that is democratic, and that promotes connection between people. So this was our adventure. And we organized several talks and workshops. These are the posters of some of the activities, like how to fix your bike, how to sew your pants. So very practical workshops, and also talks about how do we deconstruct the narratives of our daily lives, our ideas of development, working with schools. We had Rob Hopkins also to help us to stimulate our imagination. And these are some images of the activities. And as much as we could, we were also doing things in partnership with other organizations that were working with the library. And besides the workshops and the talks, we made a campaign, the Lives in Transition, that it's about 12 stories of local people, normal people who do very inspiring things in their daily lives, like going on their bicycles to their job and being the only person doing it in the company, or changing people who changed completely their lives to pursue a cause related with the ecological ethics. So 12 stories of inspiring people. With this, we mapped desires of change, ideas, resources that were uncovered in Póvoa. We are already receiving asks from municipalities and other organizations to work on this campaign. And there's so much to do. We had all the stories in the streets, in these outdoors, as you see here in the left. So it has been very, very much inspiring to see how much creativity and longing there is in the community to do things differently. And this is also an image of a final activity where we launched the part of the library that was exclusively created to have books on climate change. And we have a wall where people can put their ideas there in the wall, and then we will use it to the municipal plan for climate action. So it's also a collaboration that we weren't expecting. At least 1,200 people directly involved, but the outdoors were in the streets, so who knows how many thousands of people were reached. Challenges, bureaucracy, especially related with the public sector, the municipality is really challenging. But a close articulation and communication, flexibility in trying to predict as much as possible were really helpful. And time, there's no time for so much creativity, but making the activities the more fun and relaxed possible were also a way to people choose the activities we were organizing. Things already happening, new partnerships and collaborations are happening, and those people from the campaign are already working, like building a cooperative together, for example. And future plans, we want more books, more talks and workshops, and we will start planning that in the beginning of the year. And thank you. This was really a very, very good journey for us. We are very happy to work with the library, and we are really keen to see what comes next. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. To all our attendees, we are on track to be done with this webinar in about at 12:30. So not to waste any more time, I'm going to call up our next presenter. We're going back to Poland with Katerina and her team.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kate, and today, together with another Kate, I'm excited to present you our project, Like Home. For both of us, home is a place where we can no longer return to. We are Belarusians who, like thousands of others, had to leave Belarus after the unfair elections in 2020. Peaceful protests against these elections were brutally removed by the Lukashenko regime. This has led to people being put in prison and to ongoing political pressure. As a result, many Belarusians were forced to leave their country. On the slide, you can see the number of people who left Belarus after 2020. And Kate and I met each other in Krakow after 2020 and decided to join forces to address the needs of Belarusian community. Kate collected Belarusian books, while I collaborate with Polish organizations to secure spaces for our initiatives. Together, we realized the deep importance of preserving our identity abroad and representing Belarusians to other nationalities.
So, what are the challenges we face? One challenge is explaining that Lukashenko and Belarusians are not the same. His regime persecutes people and also attacks culture, banning Belarusian literature, rewriting history, and promoting anti-European narratives. Another challenge is preserving our language. Decades of Russifications have marginalized the Belarusian language, making it crucial for us to protect and promote it as a vital part of our identity. Finally, creating a sense of home abroad is essential. Many Belarusians face feelings of displacement and loss, and our mission is to provide a space where they can feel connected, supported, and at home.
Our solution and achievements for this year. Through the Like Home project, we have created a space in the heart Krakow city where Belarusians can gather, share culture, and find belonging. It's not just about surviving, but about thriving. Over the past year, we have expanded our Belarusian library to include over 500 books and organized many community events such as interactive readings for children, book clubs for adults, and meetings with inspiring Belarusians. A major milestone was opening a Belarusian books section in a public library in Krakow. This step makes our books more accessible and has helped us build partnerships with local libraries, opening doors for future collaboration.
So what's next? Our project is growing rapidly and the Europe Challenge program has been transformative. The support we've received has enhanced our resources and made our space more welcoming, a true home for Belarusians in Krakow. We aim to keep our doors open daily, providing a place for Belarusians to connect, access culture, and find support. To achieve this, we are actively seeking funding opportunities. Looking ahead, we also plan to expand to other Polish cities where Belarusian community have shown interest in creating similar spaces. We are already sharing our expertise and supporting these efforts, which is an exciting opportunity to broaden our impact. The Euro Challenge has inspired us to see libraries as modern, dynamic spaces, much more than books. Our vision is to create a collaborative hub of inspiration relevant to the needs of today's communities where culture, innovation, and connection thrive.
And thank you very much for having us, and we're glad to share with you our contacts, and also we invite you in Krakow to visit our library in the center of city Krakow. We will happy to see you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to our two Kates. Thank you. Next, we are going to discover the world with our other senses with Diana and Atus.
My name is Diana. I represent Liepaja Central Scientific Library.
My name is Arturs, and I'm also from Liepaja and from Society of the Blind.
And the idea for our project, Discover the World with Other Senses, started in summer of 2023, when Liepaja Library for the Blind became a part of our public library system before it was its own institution. And we understood that most of the librarians have little to none experience, tools, or knowledge how to work with people with visual blindness, visual disabilities. So our main goals for this project was to educate librarians and local community about the needs of those with visual and other disabilities, add new library services, and encourage people with visual disabilities to visit libraries more. What we have done so far, Arturs will tell you more about it.
We organized seminars for librarians about universal design and technical support for the blind people. And we also organized the tactile table games. We get for libraries text reader Bruno, who can make from text to audio speech.
But unfortunately, not everything went as smooth as we hoped. For example, we didn't have as much of activities as we wanted, especially during summer, because we work a lot with schools, with children, and it's summer holidays, and even for adults, it's vacation time. But we didn't have as much events as we wanted. Also, spreading the information about our new service and events didn't go as planned. It was harder to reach those people, but everything is a work in progress. Nothing has stopped for us. We are still learning, still growing. So we still have plans for the future.
In the future, we will organize the tournament table games in libraries. They are available, and we will organize events with the Society of the Blind and with libraries.
Lastly, we would like to thank everyone involved in the Europe Challenge. It has been a great experience. We have met many wonderful and like-minded people from all over Europe. If you want to contact us, the library or the Society of the Blind, you can see our contact information here. And if you want to know more about our project, you can search the hashtag Discover the World with Other Senses on Facebook. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Now we're going to Maria in Čačak. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, Čačak. Actually, it's Čačak.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tell us what you got.
Hello, we are Maria
and Tanya. Hello.
From the vibrant city of Čačak in Western Serbia. We are so excited to share the story of a project that truly brought our community together and made a positive difference in our lives. This initiative, Water Care in a Creative Way, was a collaborative effort between the City Library and our wonderful local partners, focusing on raising awareness about water conservation and responsible environmental practices. We knew that water is irreplaceable in the 21st century, and our simply yet powerful message was, don't take water for granted. This project directly addressed the UN's Sustainable Development Goals, especially those focused on environmental protection and sustainable water management. Engaging young people in this important work was a top priority. To achieve our goals, we used a multifaceted approach. We started with a series of engaging lectures, panel discussions, and workshops focused on ecological issues and sustainable water practices, enhancing this with educational field trips. The highlight of our efforts was a unique rooftop garden and urban oasis created on the library terrace. This relaxing space with its beautiful flowers and natural wall, became a community gathering place, and it also served as a model for sustainable landscaping and responsible water use. Our EcoZone website further amplified our message, providing accessible and engaging information about ecological literacy and promoting responsible environmental behavior. And for our younger community members, a dedicated ecological corner within the Children and Youth Department offered resources on recycling, sustainable development, and natural phenomena.
Yes, and engaging young people required creativity. We organized a captivating excursion to the historical Čirković water mill. You see this, linking its rich history to concepts of sustainable development, technology, and culture, including a lovely catamaran ride through the Stenik of Čakabla Gorge. Our participation is in the Healthy Spirit Festival in Ovčar Banja, provided the perfect settings for interactive ecological workshops. A short animated film, Can the Sea Be Clean?, effectually communicated the importance of clean water and testament of resourceful use of simple tools. The Europe Challenge provide instrumental providing available training and storytelling, prototyping, pitching, and advocacy. The networking opportunities is greetings in Milan and Amsterdam were available, allowing us to exchange best practices with our European colleagues. This project wasn't just about water conservation. It was about community building, collaboration, and creating lasting change. Looking ahead, we will continue to advocate for a biosolar roof for the library building, and we plan to expand the EcoZone website to develop new educational materials and undertake future community outreach. And thank you very much. Came to the Library City from Čačak.
Thank you. And now we are down to the wire, the home stretch. We are going to be talking about soul food. I don't know. I love the name of the organization. So Sarah, is it Krisan? Please come on.
Oh, hello. Thank you for having us. I'm Sarah.
I love your take on soul food, and that being more than just food, but culture as well. So this is our last presentation. Yeah, positive note to end on.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I'm Sarah from the Library of the Goethe Institute in Paris.
Hi, my name is Cassandra. I'm the co-founder and director of Soul Food. And as you mentioned, so us, we're called Soul Food because we believe that art feeds the soul. So at Soul Food, we use art and culture to help young migrants and refugees who are mainly between the ages of 14 and 22. Cultural excursions are really at the heart of what we do. We take them to places like museums and concerts, as well as different artists' workshops where we create art with them, and we also even organize our own exhibitions. Our professional development program is focused on cultural careers such as the culinary arts and fashion. And then we also participate in, as well as create our own cultural community events. We use these to really highlight the creativity of the young people that we work with, as well as a way to bring people from diverse backgrounds together. And then they also serve as fundraising opportunities for us. Our principal mission is to promote positive integration, so not assimilation, but integration for young migrants and refugees. And we also work to provide equitable opportunities for them, as well as to transform the narrative around this population on a larger scale.
And the Goethe Institute is the globally active cultural institution of Germany. Our library's principal activities are that we are open to all, and of course we have a focus on German language and literature, but we organize also a varied program of cultural and social events like literature events, book club, game night, reading times with families, or interactive visits for school classes. And we cooperate with other local libraries in the neighborhood and with the libraries of the other foreign cultural institutions in Paris. We want to offer an inspiring atmosphere for exchange and encounters and to promote active engagement with language, culture, and society, like multilingual learning. And yes, we want to be a place for innovation and experimentation to connect cultures.
So we came to this project with two different challenges. From Soul Food's perspective, we know that migrants and refugees are typically quite marginalized. So for example, here in Paris, they're often forced to live in the suburbs and they don't really have access to or even knowledge about the beautiful cultural sites and institutions that one might imagine when they think of Paris.
And our library has a lot of resources, but doesn't reach a diverse public. So that's what was brought together, our library and Soul Food. And our solution was to organize artistic workshops for young Soul Food members here in our library with artists from different countries.
And then we also organized a festival as a closing event to the project, and it was very closely tied to the workshop series. So for example, the exhibition that we organized in the library includes work from workshop participants as well as the professional photographer who animated the two photography workshops. There was also an immersive live performance during the festival, which included the dance workshop participants, including young Soul Food members who actually got on stage to perform for the first times in their life. So this was a very special moment. And then we also used the festival as a way to incorporate even more young Soul Food members who hadn't necessarily participated in the project before. So for example, we paired a few who are interested in the culinary arts with the chef for that part of the collaboration.
And our future plans are that our library will be open for more collaboration and events with Soul Food. And yes, and we hope also to diversify our library's program and our community in the long term.
So for example, we are exploring ways that we can relaunch creative initiatives such as our English Club and Book Exchange program, which can potentially be hosted in the library. And this would be incredibly helpful for our nonprofit, since we don't always have spaces to organize such activities.
And the benefits. So yes, this project was realized only thanks to the Europe Challenge. It was really a new and successful experience for both sides, and it opened new perspectives for our library work. And another great benefit is that the connections with similar initiatives participating in the Europe Challenge will remain, and maybe one day, hopefully, we will be able to create a Europe-wide project with others. So thank you very much, and please feel free to contact us if you have a question about our project.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We've had 12 presentations in an hour and a half, and all I can say, speaking for myself, it's all been soul food. It's all been nourishing to me. Spending this year with you all, it's the perfect way to describe it, nourishing. We're going to take 5 minutes for a Q&A. There's a question for Paulina and Jacob. Since you're working in, the community participation space, there's a question of whether things get political in those community engagements. If so, how do you deal with it? Or is the objective to remain neutral?
Thank you for the question. We were actually preparing a lot for the meetings to get political, but it never did. We were also always focusing on like the participants and where they were in life. So it was really locally focused on the meetings. So we never really had like politics on the schedule, but we were preparing a lot for that.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Next question is to Diana and Artus. Did you previously collaborate with children and adults with disabilities, or was the Europe Challenge the first occasion for this?
Liepaja Library for the Blind, that now is part of our library system, has collaborated and worked with the children a lot. The library is in the same house, the same building as the Society for the Blind. So it's really close proximity, and it makes it really easy for them to collaborate. And they have been doing that for years, but now that they are part of our system, they are spreading the partnerships to us also. So we also have a chance to do it. For example, I also work in other branch library, and I didn't have that experience. So this was new to me, but not to her.
Thank you so much. We're now at the end of our webinar series. I'd love for everyone to show some love to the presenters, for, sharing with us the experience of the Europe Challenge this year, for presenting so beautifully, for sharing so generously. Please, in the comments or with the emojis, let's thank them. Let's show some gratitude to our presenters. I'm so grateful that you showed up. I'm grateful that you stuck with the very tough time allocation. You did a good job. I love each and every one of your projects. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's look at the love in the chats to just send us off. Erica says, brilliant presentations, well done to all. We have some smiley faces. Laura says, we want you in Verona. I am coming to Verona. Seeing some love for Italy. Jennifer says, thanks to everyone who shared their projects, very inspiring. Thank you to all the presenters from Kathleen. Thank you. Love them all from Guido. Thank you so much for the positivity in the comments. So that's it. It's a wrap. Thank you, everyone.